Okay. To the victims and innocent people of covert warfare, and all the innocent people suffering from brain-computer interface crimes, remote bioengineering, crimes like property theft and torture, and gaslighting through remote neural interface and communication systems. I wish you happiness, health, safety, and security. I am a torture victim, and I've been trying to find a way to talk about my experience with remote capable technology. It is for warfare, it is for theft, and it is to advance illegal surveillance programs. I'm going to pull a card for that. We've got the 10 of Cups here, and we're coming to the end of a cycle. And it looks like there's a lot of people on board. And looking into the future, we see the star reversed, the number 17. And she's trying to, he or she, because it can be, it's kind of an androgynous figure, trying to balance the two and find a way to distill information. And we see the page of wands here. Now for me, this is something that, working with this information, I'm in the learning stages. It's extremely, extremely difficult to talk about covert warfare, especially from the perspective of the victim. But I know that there's a lot of us out there that are suffering from these technologies, and finding a way to talk about it has been just unbelievably painstaking. I'm seeing a card of duality here as this figure is also reversed, and there's a lot that's being concealed here. We see the 5 of Pentacles, and 3 of these pentacles are hidden behind the clouds, and these 2 that are most visible are right here above his head, and this is this duality figure, right? And this reminds me really of trying to blow the whistle on torture. Now, especially about remote capable crimes, right? I'm being targeted by an invisible force that no one can see. So of course that seems like I have some kind of separation from reality. While in the background there's all of these things that are concealed and hidden. But all that's seen really is this figure of just duality. Having a mental break also is what that reminds me of. So being in the apprenticeship stages, and I believe that is Orion. Orion is the apprentice here, and the Page of Wands card, and he's got his shield, and he's armed, and he's ready to head out into battle. I see he's also got his extra samurai sword. It looks like a samurai sword on his belt there. Looking backward, we have the Phoenix reversed, which is all about birth and death cycles. So the Phoenix really, as a card that's in reverse, I think of the Phoenix that is, right, bursts into flames at the end of its life, at the end of that cycle, so that he can be reborn and rise from the ashes in the next cycle. But I'm seeing this cycle it's coming to the end of a cycle here of surveillance, and this Phoenix that is going through the process of rebirth is perhaps reversed at this stage, where things never seem to quite head into the next transformative cycle or period without some form of chaos. And I'm pulling the Judgment card reversed. Judgment is a big factor. Having to blow the whistle on something so grandiose is unbelievably, it comes with its pitfalls. But the way that the underworld of surveillance goes is not only unbelievably advanced, I'm talking breakthrough technologies, and black market comes up, black market fraud as well. And just as I go to reshuffle the deck, another one falls out. So with black market fraud, I'm getting the King of Pentacles. A lot of money, right? This is a male figure also. I think this is Saturn here on this card, which at best is strong and skilled and persistent. I mean, at worst, I think it was it Greek mythos, Greek or Roman Greek mythos, where Saturn, at worst eats his own children, right? So it's a little bit dark here as well, and I see it kind of interlaced with a purple color as well. So it does remind me of the crown chakra. Now, for someone who's a brain-computer interface victim, there's also electromagnetic tools of manipulation. There are many tools of manipulation. There are many types of weapons systems. There are many types of weaponized surveillance systems. And the crown chakra harvest, also I'm hearing belief systems. Yes, I said I'm hearing belief systems. I have an artificial intelligence system that doesn't just talk to me, it talks at me. It's something that's entirely without my consent. And so as I say that, I'm pulling the card of Four of Wands, which is a card of unification or marriage, the marriage of two forces. Now for me, this is non-consensual. I'm also pulling this card underneath of the King of Pentacles, which was really my black market card that I pulled. So we're looking at partnerships and unions here. And I'm getting the Six of Wands, something that's almost, I'm sorry, it's the Six of Swords. And it's calm waters here, but there's almost a little bit of illusion. And illusionist does come to mind. It almost looks like there's only three swords here, but they reflect, and you can kind of see them hovering above these calm waters here. Again, a lot of chakra energy, purple. And I'm getting the reversal of another six. So 4, 6, and 6 with the King of Pentacles here. As with the Six of Cups, I really see the reversal here. I don't know if you can see so many layers of imagery in this deck. This male character is kind of looking out over all of his cups here. I'm hearing stacked to the sky. But it's also, he's looking out over the stars, and on the other side of these cups is the face of a baby. And so this card really reminds me of innocence and maturity, and this card is reversed. Dark interplay, I'm hearing world words, and I'm hearing turds, I am. So the dark interplay, but also has a bit of, and I'm pulling the card of witty banter here, which is the Five of Wands reversed. And it's really jazzy, it's really pizzazz, it's really almost over the top, how much color and excitement is coming from this card. And it is reversed. But the dark interplay that happens, and it's so much grotesque and pain and torture and just ripping people apart. But what happens in these spaces where black market trade is an interplay, comedic interplay is also a factor, and above all, of course, the dialogue, which is, one of the only things that I can, with immediacy, bring into the 3D and just to talk about it. And at the end of the day, I find myself in front of my cards and in front of a table saying, I have to do this, I have to talk about this, I can't hold on to it anymore, it's too much to hold on to. That the dark interplay also has a twist, I'm hearing of fate, I'm hearing at the end. Sorry, I'm getting. And I'm getting jail sentence. So as I am looking down at these cards, I'm hearing just kidding. As I'm looking down at these cards and black market ops, I'm hearing, but the darkness, I'm hearing maturity is an interplay, but the darkness of the realm of AI to human interface, where there are shared parties of surveillance, especially on a target who is also a victim of mind theater, of psychological operations. It's psychological operations, and it's what's underlying, really. I mean, it's amazing what people can do with their minds, with their intelligence, and that's the study. So very illegally, but with also taking it to a very, very a deep place of dark humor. And with that, there's many modules of interface, as it's a multimodal interface, AI to human interface, technology. And some of the things that we find there are just about everything on the human spectrum: personalities, behaviors, mannerisms, and different types of interplays. And I myself, in the hot seat, code breaking these different human types of characters and dynamics so much dynamism. And one of those things is this constantly playful nature, even though what's underlying the seedy, the root I'm getting, the underbelly, is this dark underworld of torture that's fueling all of these really cool technologies and communications. And so the Five of Wands I'm getting, it's really jazzy, and also it's kind of so I'm hearing the terrain, the soil is packed. I'm hearing, so where you can find a place of work and where playfulness kind of can fuel, I'm hearing your endeavor, but your work there. And that is reversed. So misuse of technologies, but there's something very specific that I'm trying to explain about the playfulness, about the even cute dialogue. While what's underlying is not only do I have brain-computer interface technologies, but to even, I'm hearing delve deep, but to even scratch the surface of remote bioengineering. I'm talking full body, right? So that's a lot of really deep, dark, disgusting. I'm hearing torture. And sexual technologies is something that I will come to talk about. I have the Page of Pentacles reversed. So we're seeing the learning process, and especially in coming to build coin as a victim, I'm really kind of on the other side here of this interplay as these people in groups that have formed around also surveillance. I'm hearing parties. These guys in the marriage card are breakdancing in harmony. In operations work so to mathematical precision. I mean, unbelievably predictive also, which is really what it's all about. Not just predicting me, predicting you, predicting humans in general, but to predict the future and manipulate the outcome. Black market, scandal trade, I'm getting Ponzi scheme. So, and it is a Ponzi scheme. Big data operations are a big part of what it is that I'm witnessing here as a victim witness. And so of course, being kept in poverty through sequence after sequence after sequence of torture is what I think of when I look at this Page of Pentacles here. This is Bootis, the herdsman, pulling his plow through the stars, and there's his constellation there. And this is the Quantum Tarot 2.0 version. And he's reaching out to a pentacle here, and there's a bear. It's symbolic, the bear, but also he's pulling a plow across the stars is the story. Reaping the harvest, right? And I've got somebody else reaping my harvest, and what I sow, and this card is reversed for me. I'm going to take a look at some other victims here, and it looks like Dreamtime interplay is coming up, and I'm almost wanting to kind of like swirl some smoke here. I don't know if sage, if anybody uses sage. I've got some of that here, but for cleansing, for diffusion, even could be something that helps. But there's also, I'm hearing a bit of confusion. I'm hearing with us. So the Four of Swords, something about this AI technology. I am disclosing extra-dimensional technologies. There's so many things it can do. I know it might seem like I am pulling it from a grandiose vision, and I am, but it's not mine. It's somebody else's, and they've entrapped me in this space, in the victim position, where I am constantly misaligned, and I have so much to tell. So Dreamtime technologies are a part of that. AI in the dream world. How advanced are these technologies really? Well, it's the most advanced thing I've ever come to know on the planet. So definitely a Dreamtime warning here. Pay attention to your sleep. Pay attention to your dreams. There are other tarot readers out there that are affected by systems like these. And that's one of its things, really, is gaslighting. Let's pull a card for gaslighting, and I'm seeing the moon. So one of the ways that gaslighting can happen, and telecommunications comes to mind. We see long distance communications happening over the full moon here, and it's the number 18, and this is actually the card of extra dimensions in this tarot deck, and so I'm hearing bifurcation, something that's a longer discussion. So with the moon card lying next to the dream card here, as I pull a card for gaslighting, extra dimensional communications, guys. Who are we receiving I'm hearing intel from? I'm hearing, wait, what? Who are we receiving our intel from? Oh, who are we communicating with over the web and in dreams as well? How many light worker visions I'm hearing? Parade, Prada, I'm hearing. And how many do we see online that are receiving channeled messages from spirits, from Pleiadians, from their dead grandmother, from there's Mother Teresa, Jesus Christ himself. There's so many programs of gaslighting with this artificial intelligence. That's what it's all about, is fooling people. With remote communications, this extra dimensional system can fool so many. Just about everyone I'm getting. I'm an insider, but I'm also really struggling to find a space that is right to disclose my snail of a whale tail. I say snail because it's been very slow. The snail is also an important part of my journey. Before I got attacked, I picked up an empty shell. It was a nautilus, right? The golden spiral. And I held it to my ear. And I could hear feedback. I'm hearing radio waves. And it wasn't but weeks later that I was attacked by an artificial intelligence system. When I tuned in through the snail shell, I could hear it was almost like whispering, but the feedback sounded almost like tripping over a line of communication is what it felt like. And then it came closer, closed in, and as this presence came closer to me, the feedback changed, and my echolocation registering this presence come closer to me in its observation of me, then bounced back, felt at that more close distance.